Port Charles on fire, a web of secrets, betrayals, and kidnapped innocence. The summer sun may be shining on Port Charles, but shadows stretch long and menacing over its most prominent families. In a town where secrets are currency and the past is a relentless ghost, the lives of the Corinthos, Quartermain, and Spencer clans are unraveling in a spectacular tapestry of conflict, heartbreak, and imminent danger. From a brutal father-son war to a mother's worst nightmare, the very foundations of the city are trembling. A storm has been brewing, and now, with shocking revelations and explosive confrontations, it has finally made landfall. The air is thick with questions. Who is the true architect of the chaos bleeding into the streets? Can a family torn apart by lies ever find its way back to forgiveness? And in the heart of the storm, a chilling question hangs unanswered. Where is baby Daisy? The answers lie buried beneath layers of deception, waiting to be unearthed in a dramatic cascade that will change Port Charles forever. The Corinthos conflict, a house divided cannot stand. The formidable Corinthos Empire, long the epicenter of power and drama in Port Charles, is cracking under the immense pressure of an internal war. The once unbreakable bond between mob kingpin Sonny Corinthos and his son, Michael Corinthos, has deteriorated into a bitter and brutal feud, sending shockwaves through the community. The tension is so palpable that it has drawn the attention of Mayor Laura Collins, who confronts Sonny directly, demanding an explanation for the mob battle that threatens to engulf their city in flames. For Laura, this isn't just about crime syndicates, it's about the safety of the citizens she is sworn to protect. Sonny, a man perpetually caught between his violent world and his deep-seated love for his family, finds himself increasingly isolated. His struggles are not going unnoticed. Dex Heller, his loyal enforcer, watches with growing concern. In a quiet moment by the Metro Court pool, Dex confides in Jocelyn Jacks, admitting his anxieties about Sonny's state of mind and his relentless quest to uncover the truth about his past. He could work nonstop if he was allowed, Dex explains, his voice laced with worry. He's still trying to piece together who he was and who he is now. Jocelyn, ever the pragmatist, advises him that Sonny needs professional help, a conversation with someone who can navigate the labyrinth of his fractured memories. This advice is echoed by none other than Carly Spencer, Sonny's ex-wife and a woman who knows his complexities better than anyone. When she finds Dex cornered, she offers a nuanced perspective on the man who has been both her greatest love and her deepest sorrow. She recounts the warnings she's received from Tracy Quartermain, but dismisses them as a one-dimensional view of a multifaceted man. The reality is complicated, Carly insists. Sonny has always loved his family. He was drawn into situations before he was mature enough to understand the consequences. She speaks of how his sons, Michael and Dante Falconeri, have both wrestled with the very same duality, the legacy of a father who is both a protector and a source of peril. Inspired by Carly's words and driven by his own loyalty, Dex makes a pivotal decision. He must speak with Sonny's sons. He believes that if Michael and Dante can understand the depth of Sonny's internal turmoil, perhaps a bridge can be built across the chasm that divides them. It's a desperate gambit, an attempt to mend a broken family before the escalating war consumes them all. But in Port Charles, good intentions are often the kindling for the most devastating fires. A mother's nightmare, the chilling disappearance of baby Daisy. While the Corinthos family wages a war of loyalty and betrayal, a far more intimate and terrifying drama is unfolding within the hallowed halls of the Quartermain mansion. For Sasha Gilmore, a woman who has endured unimaginable loss, the fragile peace she has found with her new baby, Daisy, is about to be shattered in the most horrific way possible. The week begins with a deceptive sense of normalcy. Michael and Sasha share a tender moment, marveling at their ability to work together as parents and finding a glimmer of hope for their future. Michael, sensitive to Sasha's past trauma, acknowledges her apprehension about his deep involvement in Daisy's life, reassuring her that their daughter's well-being is his only priority. However, a series of unsettling events begins to fray the edges of their domestic bliss. It starts subtly. The baby monitor crackles to life with strange static, a favorite onesie is mysteriously swapped for another, and Daisy's phone, a toy she shouldn't be able to operate, flickers on and off at random. Sasha, her nerves already raw from a recent freakout, she can't fully explain, struggles to rationalize the oddities, torn between fear and the possibility that her own mind is playing tricks on her. The terror escalates during the 4th of July fireworks. As the sky explodes in color, Sasha hears a whimper from the baby monitor. Excusing herself, she rushes to the nursery, her heart pounding in time with the pyrotechnic booms. The room is silent. The crib is empty. Daisy is gone. The ensuing panic is a tidal wave of raw, primal fear. Michael, returning to a scene of frantic chaos, promises a devastated Sasha that they will find their daughter. But this is no ordinary disappearance. A short time later, a voicemail arrives, the voice on the other end electronically distorted and dripping with malice. "She's fine for now," the kidnapper hisses. "But if you want her to stay that way, keep Lulu quiet." She talks to anyone outside the family, and Daisy disappears. Forever. The message ends with the most chilling part of all, the faint, frightened sound of Daisy's voice. "Mommy, I want to come home, please." The threat plunges the family into a new level of terror. This isn't a random act. It's targeted, personal, and meticulously planned. The investigation, led by a determined Jason Morgan and the tech-savvy Damian Spinelli, quickly uncovers a lead. Security footage shows an unmarked, dark green van leaving the estate, a vehicle registered to a shell company with defunct ties to a pharmaceutical front-run by the infamous Cyrus Renault. The kidnapper is someone who knows the Quartermain mansion, its layout, and its inhabitants. As they dig deeper, they realize the kidnapper's goal isn't just ransom. It's to inflict the maximum amount of psychological pain on Sasha, pushing a grieving mother to the absolute brink of sanity. The Falconeri-Quartermain feud, paternity, lies, and a slap heard round the world. As one family grapples with a kidnapping, another is imploding under the weight of a long-buried secret. The fragile peace of the Falconeri family is shattered when a young Rocco confronts his mother, Lulu Spencer, with a life-altering question: "Is Britt Westbourne my biological mother?" Armed with a birth certificate he discovered amongst Brooklyn Quartermain's BLQ belongings, Rocco demands the truth, forcing a reckoning that has been decades in the making. Summoned by a panicked Lulu, Dante arrives to help explain the impossibly tangled story. They gently unravel the tale of their struggle with infertility, their plan to use Maxie Jones as a surrogate, and the ultimate betrayal. One of their embryos was stolen by the nefarious Britt, who then carried the baby to term without their knowledge or consent. The revelation lands like a physical blow on Rocco. He is not only the product of a lie, but owes his very existence to the woman he has been taught to see as a villain. He expresses his anger at the deception but is also visibly shaken by the strange, undeniable connection he now feels to Britt. The emotional fallout from this confession spills over into an already simmering feud between Lulu and BLQ. Consumed by her own pain and fear, Lulu storms over to the Quartermain boathouse, her grief twisting into unadulterated rage. She unleashes a torrent of accusations at BLQ, furious that her cousin's actions led to Rocco discovering the truth in such a traumatic way. "You hateful bitch!" Lulu screams, her voice cracking. "This is your fault." BLQ, who had been wrestling with her own conscience over keeping secrets to protect her own child, finds herself on the receiving end of a fury she can't contain. The confrontation reaches a shocking climax as Lulu's hand cracks across BLQ's face, the sharp sound of the slap echoing through the stunned silence. The act is a point of no return, drawing a new, blood-red line in the sand between the two women. Yet, in a rare moment of grace amidst the escalating chaos, a different kind of resolution is found. Cody Bell, fresh off his own tense conversation with BLQ about the secrets she forced him to keep, finds himself in a moment of shared vulnerability with her. The anger between them melts away, replaced by a mutual understanding of the desperate lengths a parent will go to protect their child. They embrace, a silent apology passing between them, a fragile truce in a house at war with itself. Tangle hearts and dangerous games, the undercurrents of Port Charles. Beneath the headline-grabbing crises, a series of smaller, yet equally potent, dramas are playing out across Port Charles, weaving a complex web of romance, manipulation, and burgeoning threats. Jocelyn Jacks and Dex Heller, caught in their own intricate dance, orchestrate a staged breakup. Their plan is to manipulate Esme Prince, but their feigned arguments about selfishness and betrayal feel uncomfortably close to the truth, blurring the lines between performance and reality. Their cover story, a shared passion for an animal rights organization, sparks a genuine connection, a dangerous development in a relationship built on a foundation of lies. Meanwhile, Ava Jerome, ever the survivor, finds an unlikely confidant in Nina Reeves. She opens up about the deceit of Rick Lansing and his unsettling attraction to Elizabeth Weber, a confession that could ignite a new and vicious rivalry. Ava's world is further complicated by the arrival of Cody Bell at her gallery. He declares his intentions for her, even as he simultaneously helps Christina Corinthos Davis prepare for an art show, a move that suggests his motives are anything but simple. This tangled web is made even more complex by Max Scorpio, who, in a bout of misguided matchmaking, attempts to push Cody toward Molly Lansing Davis, completely unaware of the other currents at play. Anna Devane's relentless investigation into Natalia's death continues to circle closer to Sunny. After a tense encounter with Marco, who insinuates Natalia was silenced for knowing too much about Sunny's health, Anna is left with more questions than answers. The case is a classic Port Charles mystery, where every clue leads to another closed door, and the line between ally and enemy is dangerously thin. Conclusion: the aftermath and the coming storm. The fireworks have faded, but the explosions in Port Charles are far from over. A child is missing, a family is at war, and long-held secrets have erupted, leaving a trail of emotional wreckage. The slap delivered by Lulu was not just an act of violence, but a declaration of war, promising a bitter retaliation from a wounded and furious BLQ. The Corinthos feud continues to fester, threatening to pull everyone in their orbit into its destructive vortex. The central, terrifying question remains: who is Daisy, and what is their ultimate endgame? The clues point to a stalker, a tormented soul who seeks to punish Sasha for sins real or imagined. As Jason and Spinelli race against time, the residents of Port Charles are forced to confront a chilling reality. The greatest dangers are not always the ones you see coming, but the ones that have been hiding in plain sight all along. In this city of shattered loyalties and broken trust, one thing is certain: the storm is just beginning. The coming days will test every alliance, expose every vulnerability, and force each character to decide how far they are willing to go to protect the ones they love. The soul of Port Charles hangs in the balance, and before the dust settles, more lives will be irrevocably changed. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.